Good morning, Genesis Scholars, staff, parents. My name is Bryce Hooks, and I'm a 7th grade scholar and young man. And today, I'd like to present a crucial topic. That is, what does it mean to be a man in today's society? How has the notion of manhood been marred, scarred, sauced up, and tossed around like a soccer ball in today's ever-changing society? Well, to ground this discussion, I'd like to state a quote from our 26th president and great pioneer, Theodore Roosevelt. And it reads, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. Credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there's no effort without error or shortcomings." Now look here, when I first read that, I was like, now hold on, Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Did you say that we have to be the ones out here catching dust and running that fade like life is a championship match? But look, I didn't think. Let's be completely honest. I did not think. And I had to look beyond the message of the critic and the men in the arena. It was also a symbolism for something greater. It seems that when Theodore Roosevelt speaks of the man in the arena, he envisions a figure of strength and vitality, one who faces the battle with courage. He uses the word man to describe one who's bold, strong-minded, resilient, tough, and ready for a fight. Does that sound familiar to a man in today's society? Well, according to Psychology Today, we're teaching men to hide their emotional struggles, to never ask for help, and to internalize pain. These man rules create a masculinity that values stoicism over expression, toughness over tenderness, and success at all costs. However, have we considered the fact that when men are forced to uphold these expectations, they are unable to fully process their emotions? Which according to studies have led to increased rates of emotional instability, suicide, addiction, and a skyrocketing amount of imprisonment among young men. Let's take me for instance. I call my struggle the SPL cycle. So it starts with me being stressed, frustrated, overwhelmed in some way, shape, or form, dealing with responsibilities, tasks, dealing with other people in my life. And it can be a lot. And once that reaches its peak, I want to take a break, or I need to feel healthier. But sometimes that turns into I forgot, and then that turns into it's too late. And then that leaves a lingering feeling of guilt that just won't stop gripping me. And then the deranged, misunderstood conviction that I'm irresponsible, spoken to me by others, begins to plague my mind and distort my thoughts. New setbacks begin to pile on top of old ones. And before I know it, my grind slowed and my emotions are silenced. Yet everyone sees the carefree, responsible, and brilliant young man standing before us today. Greatly, in the midst of the raging storm, I've come to understand something beyond the walls of Genesis Innovation Academy that belongs out into the world, into many minds and souls. The real masculine. We've been fed a lie that a man is to be silent, cold, and unshakable. And I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of it. Quite literally sometimes. Crying. The real masculine warrior is not the one who never stumbles, but the one who stumbles and gets back up with more wisdom than before. Crying or showing emotion isn't weakness. The ability to be vulnerable and accept yourself as a human being is strength. So, mark these words. Don't man up. Rise up. Rise with humility. Rise with confidence. Rise with purpose. Because the beauty of a man's struggle is not in the lion's appearance, it's in the elephant's heart. And I hope on this day, you didn't just see a boy who stood here and said a speech, but a young man who sought to make a profound change and impact on this world. Respectfully said, Bryce Hooks.
Yeah.